How do you expect anyone to see you as a world-class speaker to go and speak on their stage if you're out here posting really blurry Instagram videos and none of them have you speaking in them? If you're wanting to call in more opportunities, start showing up. Show people that you can be that person. People can't see what's in your head. People can't understand how you feel until you show them. As a projector, we want to be seen so badly. So today we're going to be having a big conversation around rebranding. This is not your usual conversation. We have the big conversations that no one is having around here. So welcome to Unstoppable Success. Have you ever been scrolling social media and seeing other people seizing opportunities that you have had on your vision board for so long? Sometimes it feels like you're invisible. It's like, hello, I'm over here. I would love that opportunity, but they're falling in other people's laps and not yours. Sometimes it can just feel like you're pushing things up a hill. You're trying to be visible in a way, but for some reason just keep not getting chosen for those opportunities. Maybe it's speaking on certain stages, maybe it's collaborations, maybe it's getting on your favorite podcast. Whatever it is, I'm sure you've felt that. I know for me, as a projector, if you know, you know, we want to be seen so badly that we are like, I'm over here, I'm over here. So today's conversation, if you have big goals, if you know you are ready and needing to be visible and you want to seize the right opportunities for you, we're going to be having a big conversation around rebranding from the inside out. I'm not just talking about cute logos, websites, none of that. Don't you worry. This is not your usual conversation. We have the big conversations that no one is having around here because you didn't come here to play small. So today's conversation about rebranding, this is somewhat of a workshop. So I've got some prompts, I've got some activities for you. So we are going to dive straight in because I already know you're ready to seize those opportunities. You already are that person. You already have the skills to speak on those stages, to have the opportunities land in your lap. But it's just like this mismatch that it's not quite clicking yet. And usually it's because we haven't actually positioned ourselves to attract the exact opportunities we want. So if you want to start getting on the stages, getting on the podcast, collaborating, or even just attracting the dream clients that you want, then we need to show people that we are that already. One of the biggest pivotal moments for me, look, we have many of them, but one of the biggest pivotal moments for me was about a year ago when I was creating multiple six-figure success. I was traveling the world with my fiance. I was feeling so successful, but also felt like there was this big gap. Like the opportunities I was craving were just not quite coming to me. And what I decided in that moment was, who am I becoming? I decided that this is going to be my public figure era. I'm here to get on the stages. I'm here to share my message, my impact in a bigger way, get on the big podcasts, travel Australia, impacting people's lives, running my own events, the whole shebang, right? Public figure to the max. Now, here's what I realized though, because I thought to myself, let me just have a look at my social media and see what vibes we're putting out. If I could put on a brand new lens, see this through fresh eyes, and ask myself, what vibe are we doing here? It was giving coach. It was just giving Instagram coach, Instagram coach. And while there's nothing wrong with that, that was not the identity that I was stepping into. That was not who I felt like on the inside. I was stepping into public figure, thought leader vibes. So what did I do? I started to rejig my content. I started to look at my messaging. I started to ask myself, that person who has those opportunities, my future self, are they posting about this? Are they writing these things? Are they putting out low quality content? And the answer was no. So I started to shift my content. I started to shift my messaging. I started to share more videos of me speaking on stages. I started to share more snippets of my podcast, my thought leadership, because the reality is, if you want people to see you in a certain way, you need to show them, because people can't see what's in your head. People can't understand how you feel until you show them. And so if you're wanting to call in more opportunities, start showing up in that way. Show people that you can be that person already. And do you want to know what's crazy? Once I started shifting that, a few months later, when I had my book tour, my TEDx was coming out, I was on nationwide TV, I landed some spots on the biggest podcasts in Australia and the world, and things were flowing, right? Now, it's two prongs. One, I had to shift internally first. None of the rest matters if you are not that person internally first, because then that's where imposter syndrome comes in. People try and overcome imposter syndrome, but it's actually just when you don't think you are that. So if we can shift our inner world, if we then start sharing from that place, because I already knew I was the thought leader, it felt so grounded. And I think that's where things can also feel off if you're not getting the opportunities. Maybe you are positioning yourself, sharing the speaking videos, whatever it might be. But if you don't feel like that person internally, there's going to be a mismatch of energy, a whole lot of self-doubt, and that's going to be oozing through in the energy that you put out as well. But that wasn't by accident. And a lot of people don't realize that if you want to succeed, yes, there's an element of right place, right time, but there's also an element of actually thinking about things strategically. And this again comes back to understanding consumer psychology, consumer behavior. How do you expect anyone to see you as a world-class speaker to go and speak on their stage if you're out here posting really blurry Instagram videos and none of them have you speaking in them? They're just you dancing around the room, right? There is no way they're going to look at that and be like, she's a world-class speaker. Now, you may very well be, but they can't see that. So it's time we need to show them. And the time is now. We get to continually reinvent ourselves. We get to continually rebrand ourselves because we are always evolving and growing. So you don't have to wait until you become a certain version of yourself to be able to implement these things. So I want to take you through a bit of an activity on how you can do this for yourself as well. Most people don't realize that the identity that you embody is your biggest blocker to your next level success. No amount of photo shoots or video shoots or websites or graphic design is going to change that, because energy doesn't lie. Now, if you want to dive deeper into the personal evolution, I've got an episode a few episodes back called The Identity Evolution, and that's going to be really great for that. But today I want to go into more of the practical stuff for you. So, first step, we need to do an audit. And this may make you feel uncomfortable. We need to do an audit of what you're currently putting out there. What are the vibes? What's the impression? And I want you to open up your social media, open up your website, whatever platforms your audience may land on. And I want you to look at it through fresh eyes. What vibes are we putting out? What is the impression that you're giving? And if you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would you say based on your first impression? Now, another fun way to do this is ask friends or your audience or your community to also do that. Like, have a look at my Instagram and tell me. Now, the problem with this though, most of the time people are going to tell you what they think you want to hear. So they're going to be like, lovely, bubbly, excitable, love you, like not the vibe, right? If you have a coach, like for me, when I check my clients, sometimes I'm brutally honest. But you need that, right? We don't need more smoke up our ass. We need more honesty so we can evolve and grow and change. So choose the right people and also take it with a grain of salt. But do this for yourself, because this can be so powerful to see, what am I giving? What am I putting out? And sometimes we can get into the habit of just posting and putting out the same kind of stuff all the time. And it doesn't always work. Step 2 is, who is your next level self? What are they doing? What kind of content are they putting out? What are the vibes? What are they no longer doing? Maybe they're no longer posting tips about pricing because they're elevating to a next level thought leadership. For me, if you go on my account, you won't see nitty gritty, hey, if you're a coach, do this XYZ strategy. It's bigger picture thought leadership. And there is a reason for that. That is my brand, right? That is my opinions. That is what makes me me. Those are my superpowers that I can share and bring through. And smaller granule strategies and things like that were not going to get me there. Now, is there anything wrong with them? No, that might be your vibe. You might be like, I just want to focus on my core business, which is selling clients into my offers, and that's the vibe. But if I'm trying to call in mass media opportunities, then that's not necessarily going to be the key, right? So there is no right or wrong answer. And the key is for you to decide who you are embodying, who you are stepping into, because it's not me. It's not the person you follow on social media. It's not, someone you're inspired by. It needs to be truly you. That is the key. But who are you stepping into? How do they show up online? What kind of things are they posting? And particularly have a think about what are the specific opportunities you are trying to call in, and then post as if you're already doing them. Because if you want to align yourself with Vogue magazine, pretty sure if you're a model, for example, you should start posting photos that look like Vogue style. If you want to call in a speaking opportunity in a marketing conference, maybe you should start posting more videos, high quality videos that say, hey, I'm a marketing leader, that share your thought leadership, that share your marketing tips, right? And it can look so different for so many people. So what are the opportunities you're wanting to call in, and start sharing, start positioning yourself as that already. Now, this could be through the visuals, but it can also be in the words you say, in the words you write, in the tone of voice, in all of these elements that make up branding. But so many people are too fixated on, what are my brand colors? I don't give a shit what your color is. You can change your color every day. Now, ideally, you want to keep it cohesive, keep it identity to you, but the colors are not getting you on the stage. It's that thought leadership video that you posted that someone thought, oh, hell yeah, this is great. This resonates with me. That actually would be great for our stage. Do you see the difference? And so this is going to be one of the most powerful things you ever do. And like I said, don't worry about perfecting it. Just start. And as you go, you'll get more and more self-awareness around this. You'll start to understand and realize what you do like, what you don't like, what's working for you, what feels natural and authentic. That is the key. Because if it doesn't feel authentic and it doesn't feel natural, it's not going to do well anyway, and people can see through that. Now, I quickly want to touch on the biggest mistakes that I see people make when it comes to this though, and I have 4 key mistakes that I want to help you avoid. So number 1 is surface level changes. Like, okay, I did a photo shoot and that's me done, did my rebrand. I'm talking about really getting deeper on what is your message? What are the opportunities? What are you doing? What are you putting out into the world? And really going deep in all of your brand touch points. Number 2 is not doing the inner work. Because girl, like I said, no matter how much lipstick we want to put on a pig, we cannot fly if we don't do the work. And I'm not saying you're a pig. That's just my analogy. You get the picture, right? But we need to do the deep identity work, because that is the most powerful starting point. Because like, if you already just are that person, of course you'd be posting differently. So that's where it actually becomes really natural and really simple, because we embody that first. Number 3 is not going big. You didn't come here to play small, so it's time to stand out. Get bold with those opinions. Say what you want to say. Don't worry about upsetting others if it is truly from a place of service, right? Because there's always going to be someone who doesn't like what you have to say, how you want to show up, what you want to wear, how you want to talk. Don't worry about them. You do you. And number 4, if it doesn't make you a little nervous, then you're not yet aiming big enough. So go big. Claim those massive opportunities, because they're already there waiting for you. All you have to do is reach out and say, that is mine and I'm coming for you. So to recap, your rebrand is not so much about what you're putting out, but who you're becoming, and then letting others see that magic as well. And if you're really feeling called to do this work, to call in the big opportunities, to really step into the next level self, to do the inner work alongside the bold moves that get you noticed, build your impact change lives while making a whole lot of bank along the way, I want to invite you to apply for my Unstoppable Mastermind, because this space is full of 7-figure entrepreneurs who are scaling their businesses to a whole new level alongside their personal brand. And so it is absolutely obligation free to apply. That way we can have a chat and see if this is the right fit for you. But click the link in the show notes and I will see you on the next episode. Keep being unstoppable, keep crushing it, and keep making waves. I'll see you then.